It's time for Syrah Yay! Another one of my favorites. This spicy, full-bodied red is exactly what we need to knock off the chill. So let's start tasting. Hi Janelle.
Hi Lynn.
Tonight we have a bit of a twist for our guests. We are featuring Shiraz and the blends thereof, so that should be interesting. The first one we have is Zanfit Shiraz.
That's right. Now Lynn, Zanfit Shiraz has got a bit of a history, especially when it comes to the grape Shiraz. Paul de Wet was the first person in South Africa to actually make 100% Shiraz and bottle it in 1976. The wine, as it is actually that very same label, was then launched in 1979. What happened to the grape prior to that? Prior to that, Shiraz was used mostly for our blends, and when people normally refer to early Cape blends, they use Shiraz in the blend with Cabernet, they use it in cinsault. Very famous wines that we grew up with were actually with a dash of Shiraz blended. And that's when Paul de Wet decided from Zandvliet, listen, I'm going to bottle 100% Shiraz. And that opened everybody's eyes and said, what is that? And that was the first time that we were introduced to this grape Shiraz in South Africa.
Is it usually a Rhone blend, used in a Rhone blend?
Well, it's normally, because remember, we source the grape variety from the Rhone area in France. That's where its origin lies in any event. You know that Shiraz is originally a crossing from two lesser varieties called Mourvedre and Mondius Blanc. And that's where it came from. So you can say Shiraz, like we call it, and the Australians, or Syrah, like the French would refer to it. Okay, Syrah, absolutely.
Okay,
so this is
Janelle.
our Zandvliet all the way from Ashton, Robertson area,
Yes.
100% Shiraz.
And what did we pair with this one? You suggested the roasted red pepper.
I do. I normally love something spicy with the Shiraz.
Yes.
I suppose it sort of marries with that peppery tones, and then lovely fruit underneath, lying fruit with it. And here we've got a roast red pepper soup with smoked pork rillette and a beautiful salsa of pepper,
It sounds and
fennel,
looks
and
amazing.
apple. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
great.
what we
Let's
have.
taste.
Cheers.
And now we go to Franschhoek with Mort Pierneef Shiraz Viognier or Viognier. How
That's
do you
right.
say?
No, but you know, they often use this white variety, Viognier, in the northern part of the Rhone Valley to soften up the Shirazes, because Shirazes can be, as you mentioned previously, quite bold and full-bodied.
Yes.
And it adds to aroma, because you know that Viognier is a very aromatic grape variety. So that do not think they add white wine. They normally use the lees and ferment on the lees of the Viognier. They permitted about 5 to 10%
Yeah,
of
there's
the Viognier.
10% in this one.
That will. And then just see
Okay.
if it adds elegance to it. Let's just taste it. This should work absolutely perfect with a confit duck cup.
Oh,
And they
yes.
prepared a rosemary and onion veloute. So
Wonderful.
it's
Can't
absolutely-
wait.
Yeah. Then the next wine is actually something that I can show you the potential of this wonderful variety Shiraz, and that is when they blend with it. Using the grape varieties that you actually find in the Rhone Valley, or has its origin in the Rhone Valley. South African, that's marvelous,
yes.
made by Adam Mason. And here he's used a beautiful composition of Shiraz, of course, or Syrah, as they put it on the label, and cinsault,
4 different grapes.
Mourvedre, and then of course the lady Viognier. And you will find this extremely soft on the palate, very juicy. So what a wonderful way to start an early evening and then bump it up to your more serious 100% Shiraz afterwards. But this is lovely.
Very fruity. It's wonderful.
And something very joyful, just to sort of contrast
Very
that,
easy.
that sweet fruitiness that you...
What have we paired with this? Oh, a Northern African spiced lamb, bunny chowder.
Yes.
Sounds amazing.
Very relaxing, exactly like this wine. It's meant to be easy drinking, juicy, sit back, enjoy warm-ups, light the fire and let's get going.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now we go to the home of Shiraz, the Rhone Valley, with Côtes de Rhône.
That's correct. Yeah. But Côtes de Rhône, that actually refers to the hills of the Rhone Valley.
Yes.
So we start right on top where Côte Rôtie is, and actually the producer lives there in Ampuy, Etienne Gigal, of this wine. But Côtes de Rhône will then explain to you that we're using the varieties of the Rhone Valley. So we're going down with the valley,
Okay.
and this is what's so essentially wonderful. Again here, the blending of Shiraz, or Syrah, as the French would say. So you have in your glass the classic varieties, number 1 Syrah, 2 Grenache, and then the gentle Mourvedre.
Mourvedre.
What do you think, Lynn? You pick up always that beautiful hint of that pepperiness of the Syrah. And then
It's gentle, it's very gentle.
elegant. I call this elegant.
Elegant.
And juicy.
That's a
And
better
we can enjoy this for a long, long time. Not in future, but in the evening.
How long can this age for?
No, I think easily for this wine, and they consider it fairly light wine, up to 6 years.
Wow.
Or maybe longer. It depends, of course, always on the conditions you store. And this we're going to end up with a big bang. What have we have got here?
Ooh, dark chocolate and chili tart. Grenache served with raspberry pistachio cream. It looks
Wow.
divine.
It does. And I hope that satisfies everybody.
Let's go join our guests and share Shiraz.
Let's do that.
It was a wonderful night, enjoyed it. Originally from Cape Town, moved here 5 months ago, and made me feel like home tonight.
The wines were fantastic, a beautiful pairing, and thank you very much for a wonderful evening.
I think between Arjan and having good friends here, there's nothing that creates quite an atmosphere as wine and good food.
Yeah, it was a great evening.
I really enjoyed the wine tasting this evening. I'm usually a white wine lover, but this time I accompanied my husband because he loves red wine. I thoroughly enjoyed it, particularly the Motte. It's really nice and spicy, but not too overwhelming. I really did enjoy it quite a lot.
A big thanks to Brooklyn Mall and Amore for hosting our event. Next we'll be featuring Côtes, so make sure not to miss our episode on Time for Wine. Cheers!